What if the love you pushed away was the only kind that could have healed you? Asterisk. Comment box. 2:17 p.m. Wednesday. Light rain outside. Asterisk. On a Wednesday cloaked in gentle mist, the kind of day that slips past without asking to be remembered, my boots squelched through shallow puddles, poor armor against the drizzle. A mutual friend had arranged for us to meet over lunch. I wasn't eager, but I didn't resist either. The diner buzzed with clinking silverware and the comfort of strangers' conversations. He wasn't the loudest in the room, not even close. But his laughter, raw and unpolished, drew my attention like a candle flame in a quiet room. His name was Noah. No practiced charm, no calculated gestures. Just attentiveness. Real unfiltered presence. When I spoke, he listened. Not the way people sometimes pretend to, but with a genuine, still-eyed focus. He asked questions with care, not curiosity for curiosity's sake, but to understand. I'd mention my dog in passing. Beagle. I didn't think he'd remember. But 3 days later I got a text. A photo of a tiny keychain in the shape of a beagle. Beneath it. This made me think of you. Nothing grand. Just thoughtful. Just him. Smiled. But I also dismissed it. Not because I wasn't interested. It was more than I wanted to admit. But I just clawed my way out of something hollow and consuming. A relationship that had burned too brightly at first and dimmed slowly, painfully, like a dying star. There was no grand betrayal. Just a slow erosion of energy and self. A draining, weary end. It left me cautious, maybe even suspicious of anything that came easy. Noah, with his quiet gestures and calm consistency, didn't demand space in my life. He simply made room. He sent songs he thought I'd like. Checked in gently, never prying. Eventually, I accepted his dinner invitation. We met at a bistro tucked into a cobbled corner of the city. Smelled like rosemary and rain. He held the door, pulled out my chair, and didn't touch his phone once. Every moment felt natural. *2*natural. I was used to love as something that needed decoding. Late replies, half answers, constant emotional algebra. With Noah there was no puzzle. And that unsettled me. We kept meeting. No rules, no expectations. He let things unfold. But I, tired and still carrying the ghost of someone else, kept part of myself behind glass. Every time Noah reached for something deeper, I stepped back. Changed the subject. Masked discomfort with a joke. He saw through it. One evening, after a walk beneath the whispering glow of city street lamps, he stopped. His gaze didn't waver. "You don't have to guard yourself with me," he said. "I'm not here to hurt you." I offered a faint smile. Said nothing. Not because I didn't believe him, but because part of me couldn't trust that something that soft could last. I didn't know how to accept someone who didn't make me chase. Then came the night I pushed him too far. We were on a rooftop he'd chosen, strung with delicate lights, music humming low, the city below softened by distance. He asked about my week, listened as though my mundane routine was poetry. Then a pause. He leaned in, searching my face. "I care about you," he said. Just that. And I panicked. I looked away. Laughed too quickly. Took a sip of wine I didn't want. And said the thing that kills more good things than we'll ever know. "You're incredible, Noah. But I'm just not ready." I said it with the gentlest smile I could muster, like a bandage might soften a clean slice. I watched as the words reached him. His shoulders squared, not in anger but defense. He nodded. The smile he gave me wasn't real, not really. It was the kind you wear when you've been here before. He called for the check. Good. "Take care, all right?" Then he left. No begging. No last plea. Just a quiet exit. I stayed behind, staring at the water ring his glass had left on the table, convincing myself I'd done the right thing. He deserved someone unburdened, someone whole. But the truth. It wasn't him I didn't trust. It was me. He saw me. Really saw me, even the parts one kept hidden. And instead of letting him in, I shut the door with a gentle smile and words meant to shield. I told myself I was sparing him, but in truth, I was hiding from the chance to be known fully, and still loved. That night my phone stayed silent. Not blocked, just absent. I scrolled through old texts, the light banter, the songs, the dog memes. Each message had been a tiny offering of care. I felt them again like sunlight filtering through fog. I didn't reach out. I told myself I'd only hurt him more. But the deeper reason, I didn't know how to ask for a second chance when I'd already told him to go. Weeks turned to months. Dated again. There was laughter, sure. Brief sparks. But no one made me feel safe. No one offered the quiet sanctuary Noah had. And safety, I realized, isn't boring. It's sacred. One afternoon, arms full of groceries, I spotted him across the street. He was holding hands with someone else. She was laughing at something he'd said, and he looked light. Ease. The way he never quite was with me. And that's when it hit me. He hadn't waited. He'd given his love to someone who didn't flinch from it. Someone who didn't need time to believe she deserved it. I never messaged him. Not because I didn't ache to, but because I knew she had given him what I couldn't. We don't always lose people because they stop caring. Sometimes they leave because they realize we'll never choose them the way they chose us. And that's the deepest loss. Not the goodbye, but the knowing we gave them every reason to say it. So if you're lucky enough to sit across from someone who sees you, not the version you polish but the one you hide, and your first instinct is to run, don't. Love that is gentle isn't weak. Love that is consistent isn't dull. And saying, I'm not ready, is often just a softer way of saying I'm scared. I told Noah he was incredible. I told him I wasn't ready. And he smiled, paid the bill and walked away.